Hi Sagittarius, here is your love reading. I am really sorry for the lateness for your reading, but I have been back to back doing private readings, and for the fact that these people pay for their readings, they must take a priority. So I have not had any free time to be able to upload for YouTube. But that being said, here is your love reading now. Now, the energy we've got being brought in, we've got the Two of Swords here. It is reversed. The Two of Swords, it can talk about disagreements. And it can also talk about an element of deception within a relationship, a lack of trust. The Two of Swords can talk very much about lies, hidden lies. And it can talk about how these hidden lies may very well be distorting your understanding of a situation at the moment. Also with the Two of Swords, it can very much talk about feeling a bit of a, where you might feel as though somebody you're in a relationship with is dumping all their crap onto you. And it may very well feel that you are in some way also having to be the peacemaker all the time. That there may very well be arguments and disagreements between you both. But you are the one that's always having to give in. And as I said, be the peacemaker here. And you may very well be feeling overwhelmed at the moment. And you may be feeling overwhelmed by the other person's attitude and their point of view, because it's like they are constantly pushing their viewpoints onto you. And it may feel that you are the one that's constantly having to back down here or give in some way. Now, down here we have the Judgment card. It is a major arcana and it's number 20 in the major arcana. And it's the card that comes directly before the World card. And the World card talks about completion and endings in order for new beginnings to open up. The Judgment card, it can talk about somebody making that final judgment. Somebody blowing that final whistle and coming to a conclusion here. But it can also talk about an awakening. An awakening after an element of reflection. An awakening that brings you to a reality that you actually want to live your life in a different way. And that may very well differ now from what your partner wants. It may very well be that you want to live your life in a different way by not being part of this relationship anymore. Thus bringing the conclusion to this relationship. Now, what's brought this situation of the Two of Swords? We have here in the position of the effects from the past. We have another two, which is reversed. We have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles itself can talk about juggling. It can talk very much about about juggling a decision as to whether you may do a decision as to whether, as example, whether you do want to marry this person, whether this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. It can also talk about how you and the other person are having trouble or have had trouble juggling this relationship. It may be that you both have extremely busy lives, busy work lives, and you may not have had enough time to be able to commit to each other. It may be that you are the one that's been very busy working and your partner's wanted more of your time. But it can either be about juggling this relationship in order to make it work, or juggling a decision here about the long-term commitment of this relationship. Now, up here we have the Five of Wands. The Five itself talks about conflict and arguments. The Five of Wands can talk about conflicting energies. It can talk about you and somebody else not agreeing, or it can talk about how you're both trying to get your point of view across, but neither of you are listening to each other. There's just a lot of shouting and arguments, and nobody's actually listening. But also with the Five of Wands, it can talk about these external challenges that are then creating internal challenges within you. So whatever's going on here may very well have created some external conflict between you and your partner, but also, as I said, may be creating some internal conflict for you. Now, your outcome card is a major arcana, and it is the Moon card. Now, the thing with the Moon card is, first of all, everything looks very different when it's lit with the moon, okay? You can't always see things as clearly. The Moon card can talk very much about the need for you to discover your inner longings here. If you look at, I think this is a lobster, his comfort zone is this water. But you can see he's approaching coming out of this water and going onto this path. But he's unsure because he can only see half of this path. Further on, it becomes very dark and he can't see. And it can talk about a crisis of faith here. It can talk very much about how this relationship may very well be your comfort zone. You may very well have been in this relationship for some time. But we see there being struggles, arguments, conflict, challenges. We see juggling with decisions, or being able to juggle the whole dynamics of this relationship, that has become very difficult. I think, Sagittarius, what's going on here? And I feel it's more you than your partner. I just feel, like I said with this Two of Swords, that within this relationship, you may very well have felt like you have become the dumping ground. That maybe there is issues and problems going on for your partner, and maybe that could be part of this Five of Wands, that there are conflicts going on within their life, maybe within their working life, and they may very well be dumping this all onto your shoulders. And it may very well have been going on for some time. Or, like I said, it could be a situation whereby you feel within this relationship, you are the one that's having to be the peacemaker all the time. You are the one that's constantly having to give in here. It may very well be that we can see a juggling of mood swings with your partner. And you are the one, as I said, that's having to deal with that juggling of their personality, their emotions, their mood swings, and having to try to keep the peace. But with the Judgment card, we see you trying to come to a conclusion here. And I do feel that for the majority of you that this situation is talking about, you're wanting to possibly end this relationship. But I think you're fearful about what your life is going to be like if you do come away from this relationship. Sometimes in life, we can have this kind of outlook of better the devil you know than you don't know. But it's no good keeping yourself in a situation if it's no longer fulfilling you. Your path forward and your path ahead may be very unclear at the moment, and you may be very unsure about what lies ahead. But until you come out of your comfort zone and take that risk, you're never going to know what's going to lay beyond. Now, for some of you, it could very well be the other way. It could be your partner that's feeling this way about you. But I do feel for the majority of you, we are talking about you here. We're talking about you wanting to reach a conclusion here, and needing to make a decision as to whether to stay in this relationship or bring it to an end. The Moon card talks about indecision, crisis of faith. But it also talks about the need to gain perspective here. It can as well talk about an element of solitude. That you may very well need some solitude time in order for you to gain a better perspective. In order for you to make this decision as to whether to stay in that water, which is your comfort zone, or whether to step out of the water and go forward to the unknown, because what lays at the end of that path may very well be much better than what you're dealing with now. Because this Two of Swords reversed and this Five of Wands and this Two of Pentacles, none of this is positive energy. None of that is being in a happy place. We see external and internal conflict. We see a juggling. We see feeling overwhelmed here. And like I said, the need to bring judgment to this situation and need to bring a conclusion to it. And it may very well create this crisis of faith within you. So, Sagittarius, that does bring your reading to an end. Just like my previous reading for Scorpio, it is a very specific message here, and it's not going to resonate with everybody, okay? But for those of you that it does, I do feel that approaching the end of this month, maybe going into April, is going to be decision time. And you're going to need to make a decision about whether you stay in this relationship or whether you go down this new path on your own. I want to thank you so much for liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel. And like I said, I really do hope that this reading is going to help somebody. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.